This is Lore Worst Game, the series where we check if a character myth matches their video game counterparts. In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at Atlus' most iconic demons and company mascot, Jack Frost, the personification of winter and frost. Jack Frost is a spirit of frost and personification of winter, most commonly found in English and broader European folklore. Some traditions describe him as a variation of Old Man Winter, a figure who in turn has sometimes been linked to Boreas, the Greek god of the north wind. For the purpose of this video though, we'll focus on Jack Frost as it appears in English folklore, since that is also the origin Atlus highlights in their games. When winter approaches and the night grows long, people say Jack Frost begins roaming across the land. His presence carries the bite of cold, and wherever he passes, the environment changes in recognizable way. The first sign often appears on clear, frigid night, where he paints delicate ferns and feathery branches across window panes. These icy patterns are drawn with brush or ink, but in some versions, it is said that it was created with frozen breath, turning plain glass into temporary gardens of frost. Children waking in the morning would rush to the window to admire these shapes, whispering that Jack Frost has visited during the night. Beyond the windows, he moved quietly across the countryside. Fields are left under a sparkling crust of white, and ponds harden beneath his touch. Travelers, however, feel his presence more harshly. Jack Frost is said to nip at ears, sting noses, and stiffen fingers. These small pains serve as reminders that winter is not only beautiful, but also sharp and unforgiving. His range, however, is never permanent. As the sun climbs higher and spring approaches, his power fades, and he retreats with the northern winds. Yet, even in summer, people remember him. The memories of his frosted patterns on windows, the sting of his bite, and the glittering field under moonlight keep his legend alive. Each year, when the first breath of icy air returns, the story begins again. Repeated in every frozen window pane, every field of frost, and every child whisper that Jack Frost has come back. In the Shin Megami Tensei series, Jack Frost is one of the most recognizable demons, standing alongside icons like Pixie and Pyro Jack. He has appeared in nearly every mainline entry, usually as a low to mid-level recruitable allies of the fairy race. This categorization reflects his folkloric roots as a spirit tied to the season of winter, playful yet potentially dangerous. The in-game compendium echoed this origin, describing him as a winter fairy of European descent. He leaves ice patterns on windows and nips people's noses. Though normally an innocent creature, he will freeze his victim to death if provoked. When it's come to visual, Jack Frost has gone through two main designs. His very first appearance was in Megami Tensei 2, even before the Shin Megami Tensei series was established. That early design laid the groundwork, but the second look, the one most players know today, has since become iconic. This design presents him with a small snowman-like body, a wide mischievous grin, and a blue jester hat tipped with bells. While simple, it captures the key traits of folklore, playfulness, trickery, and his direct tie to cold and frost. The simplicity of his round shape and bright expression made him approachable while still hinting at the sharp chill he brings. Jack Frost's personality is just as distinct as his appearance. In negotiations, he speaks with his trademark hee-ho and constantly comes across as playful, silly, or mischievous. Atlus leaned into this identity so heavily that Jack Frost eventually became the company official mascot, appearing not just in the games but also in marketing campaigns, spin-offs, and merchandises. Over time, his popularity grew enough to spawn an entire Jack family of demons, including Pyro Jack, King Frost, and Black Frost, each of which add its own twist on the idea. Pyro Jacks, sometimes called Jack-o'-lanterns, draws from Halloween lore, while King Frost embodied the idea of an enlarged and more commanding winter spirit. I'll be covering Pyrojax and King Frost more fully in future video. Black Frost, however, is a bit different. Unlike the others, he has no direct mythical origin. Instead, he was created as an original demon by Atlus themselves. His compendium entry describes him as a Jack Frost that wishes for evil powers. This powerful demon is born when the killed Jack Frost remembers its nature as a demon. Even the Japanese wordplay reflects this shift. Jack Frost's name in Japanese is a straightforward transliteration, Jaku Furo Suto, but Black Frost is called Jaku Furu Suto, with the Jaku meaning evil or wicked. That said, while Jack Frost rarely plays a central role in the main story of SMT or Persona, his presence is felt everywhere. He's often show up in side quests, spatial fusion, or as an Easter egg, emphasizing humor and charm more than menace. Sometimes he even appears dressed like popular characters from other Atlus games, a nod to his mascot stature and his role as a bridge between the serious tones of the series and its playful side. Earlier, we already covered that in the more recent Shin Megami Tensei series, Atlus consistently categorized Jack Frost as part of the fairy race. This choice aligned well with his folkloric origin, framing him as a mischievous yet magical spirit tied to winter. But his role shifts slightly when he appeared in the Persona series. In earlier title, Jack Frost was assigned to the lover Arcana, but in the later games, he's moved to the magician Arcana. The lover Arcana traditionally represent theme of relationship, choices, and bond between people, which doesn't have much connection to our cheerful snowman. The magician Arcana, on the other hand, is associated with energy, potential, and the ability to manifest one's desires. While this still isn't a perfect thematic fit, it could reflect the idea that Jack Frost's cheerful, harmless nature hides a sharper side. He can kill if provoked, just as the folklore warned. Furthermore, the magician also worked if he considered his ability to transform into stronger variants such as King Frost or Black Frost. Looking at his ability, Jack Frost's skill set is almost always centered on ice. He comes packed with multiple Bufu-like spells, which in some version of the games also carry the chance to freeze enemies. Additionally, in the SMT series, he often has access to Ice Breath, an attack that hits multiple foes with chilling winds. This move connects neatly to the folklore where Jack Frost leaves icy trail and patterns wherever he passes. His resistance and weaknesses are equally consistent. He usually resists ice, but is weak to fires. This balance nearly reflects his role as the embodiment of cold, resilience against frost, but fragile when faced with heat. Jack Frost also has some unique and memorable skill. In the SMT series, he can use Jack Bufula, a special version of the medium-level ice spell Bufula. Unlike the normal version, this attack not only deals damage, but also lowers the target defense by 1 rank for 3 turns. This directly mirrors his folklore. Jack Frost doesn't just sting for a moment, his bite lingers like frostbite, leaving marks that last long after the initial shield. He also has access to the group technique. When paired with King Frost and Black Frost, he can perform Frost Storm, a powerful cooperative move. This attack delivers severe level-based ice damage with piercing effect to all foes, while also lowering their attacks and defense to the minimums of 3 turns. Thematically, this feels like a perfect extension of the Jack family dynamic that combines shield overwhelm opponents on every front. In the Persona series, Jack Frost has his own notable fusion spell as well. One of them is Jack Brothers, performed with Jack-O-Lantern. This spell deals medium or mighty damage to all foes with a high chance of knocking them down. While it doesn't tie directly back to Jack Frost's folklore, it reinforces his playful bond with other Jack's demons. Another fusion spell, King and I, doesn't involve Jack Frost directly, but instead combines Black Frost with King Frost. This attack unleashes heavy ice damage on all foes, ignoring resistances with a medium chance to inflict freeze. Once again, echoing folklore idea of a cold so intense it lingers, leaving lasting harm. Now that you have heard the lore and the connection, it's time for the verdicts. In folklore, Jack Frost is remembered as the spirit of the frost, a figure who leave delicate icy ferns on windows and nip at noses and fingers to remind people of winter bite. In the game, this trait carried over clearly. His playful design, the round snowman body and wide grins, the jester cap, perfectly reflected the mischief tied to his legend. Even his catchphrase, the cheerful hee-ho, captured that light-hearted personality that masks an edge of danger. His abilities underlie the connection even further. The bullful eyes of ice spells and his consistent weakness to fires mirror the nature of Frost itself. Ice breath feel like the direct nod to the folklore, echoing the way Jack Frost leaves frozen trail wherever he passes. Jack Bufula also fit the myth well, since it represents not just sudden chill but a lingering frostbite that weakened whoever it touched. And when he joined with King Frost and Black Frost for Froststorm, the result is a move that embodies the overwhelming cold of winters, beautiful but brutal when faced head-on. What makes Jack Frost stand out compared to many other demons in the series is how closely Atlus chose to stick to his original source. He wasn't turned into a darker reinterpretation or reimagined into a more menacing figure. Instead, they leaned into his folklore identity and let it evolve naturally into a mascot role. Even the variants like King Frost and Black Frost expand the concept in new directions. The core remained the same. A mischievous yet dangerous sprite of winters, just as people once remember him. My verdict is Mythical Resonance, which is the title given when myth and game reinforce each other to create something greater. Thanks to all the channel members for supporting this video, and if you like more, check out the last episode of Lore Worst Game where we look at Orpheus, the tragic musician from Greece who lost everything but his head.